Welcome back to SnowRunner. You join us today as we look at the mission, The Essentials. Now, for those that have watched the recent episodes, the Essentials mission may seem familiar. When we needed to go to Smithfield Dam and collect the construction rig, we took a load to deliver to the farm, thinking we could do two jobs at once. That didn't end quite the way we wanted it to. In fact, the trailer is still upside down at Smithfield Dam. But today, we're going to try this again. We have a decent route. We're starting off in Black River. We're going to pick up the bricks and the wooden planks here. As you can see, we've plotted our route out already. And then head to Smithfield Dam, deliver these to the farm after going a different route. And then we will head back to the fuel station in Smithfield Dam, collect the fuel, and then back to the farm and complete the mission. That is the plan. We are currently driving the Fleetstar F2070A. Recently we managed to get to rank 6. That gave us a chance to put all-wheel drive mud tyres. I can't remember what they're called. We put tyres on the Fleetstar anyway. So we've now moved away from road tyres. The Fleetstar now has better mud tyres. I need to check exactly what they are, but yeah, better mud tyres anyway. So that enables us to grip much better. The Fleetstar itself is a fantastic vehicle. We've used it quite a bit so far in Michigan, because I think it works really well for us because it's got all-wheel drive. It's got a engageable diff lock, which definitely makes a difference. We haven't got many upgrades for it though, to be fair. But at the same time, it has been our go-to vehicle so far. And now the change in having extra tyres on it, that actually will work better in the mud. It's going to be an even better vehicle for us. We have got other vehicles. We did sell the GMC recently, just so we could afford the tyres. We will be buying that back at some point in the future as well. Unless we come across another one that we get to keep, then we have to buy it back. We'll see. I don't want to get rid of vehicles. It's one of those weird things. I just want to collect them all. So yeah, we're going to try and get the GMC back at some point. We've got the Chevrolet Kodiak, which I really like, but it doesn't have all-wheel drive, which does affect us. So it's a good vehicle to use. It's quite powerful. Compared to the Fleetstar, I think it has a bigger engine to it. But it's just not as good as the Fleetstar. I want to try and use different vehicles, but currently we don't. I want to also complete the missions. There's no point changing to a vehicle that can't do the mission. We might as well. We've got to try and finish it. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at in terms of vehicles and things. Now, we had some comments recently about these episodes and preferring them without the music, which is fine. My only thing with that is sometimes to commentate for 35 minutes is all well and good. You run out of things to say, so there is some points I will still put music in videos. I'm thinking once we pick the wooden planks up from the lumberyard, maybe music there from there to the dam itself, and then once we get to the dam we'll carry on with me talking about what we're doing. It's more of the fact that it just means I've got to talk for a lot longer and just waffle on, and I'm trying not to do that a little bit. But we'll kind of do it bits and pieces as we go. I do want to talk quite a bit as much as we can, but sometimes there's not that much to talk about, unfortunately. You can see here the Fleetstar doing its job, though. We are making this not look easy. That hill was tough to climb, but it does seem to manage it pretty well, which is why I really enjoy driving the Fleetstar. I think it is one of the best vehicles we've found so far, and I no doubt there'll be better vehicles to come. I've said it in previous videos as well, we're not buying vehicles unless we really have to. I don't want to spend any money on buying a vehicle other than buying the GMC back. Just because I just want to see if we can do it without that. You know, money should be spent on upgrading rather than new. That's kind of my idea at this point. That could change if things really go south, but we'll see how we go. Back onto the road now with the Fleetstar. Now this part of the journey is quite straightforward. We just need to follow the road all the way around over this bridge and another bridge. And then we will be on our way to the lumberyard. Oh, took the turn a bit too quick. Yeah, that's a bit of damage to the engine. We still got a lot of trailers laying around as well. You may also notice the trailer we're using. So recently we've been using these trailers. I can't remember what they're called. But they have 5 slots on the back. You can carry 5 different things of normal size. Really good trailers, but they don't have sides to them normally. The ones we've been using don't have sides. For an extra £200, you can get a sideboard one, which is what this one is. And we've had this conversation in the comments and things about it's a bit safer, especially when you're driving the way I drive, which isn't the best. You know, full honesty there. My driving isn't the best. So I thought for an extra £200 for a trailer with sides, Let's do it. It just makes the load a little bit safer in my eyes. So I think that's a good plan going forward. It's the same as using the sideboard bed on the back rather than the flatbed. I think that's a good plan as well. We also had comments recently about having snorkels on the vehicles. I haven't done it yet, mainly because I haven't needed to, but it is something we need to look at. I'm just very conscious of money. I suppose we should put it on the Scout vehicle we're using, which is the Scout 800. Prefer that to the Chevrolet, to be fair, although I do tend to roll it quite a lot. But yeah, I prefer that to the Chevrolet, so maybe if we need to put a snorkel on that, and possibly the Fleetstar as well. I want to be using the Chevrolet Kodiak more, and we possibly could have used the Chevrolet Kodiak for at least this part of this journey. But I don't think it's going to make the part in Smithfield Dam. I think that journey is going to be a bit too tough for it. We'll see how the Fleetstar manages, to be fair. We have put better tyres on the Chevrolet Kodiak as well, so I don't know. It's the all-wheel drive I think the Fleetstar uses that makes so much difference when we're going on some of these dodgy journeys with dodgy roads. Dodgy, broken, flooded. Dodgy. But so far so good. We're doing pretty well. We're making this journey look pretty simple so far, but this is the easy part as far as I'm concerned. This will get trickier. We know that once we get to Smithfield Dam, that journey to the farm, after what happened last time, isn't going to be simple. But I have found a route, after exploring with the Scout, that should get us there with, I wouldn't say minimal difficulty, but safer than trying to go through the water and ditches, which is what happened last time. Like I say, if you haven't seen it, go back and have a look of us getting the construction rig from Smithfield Dam. I think it's that one. Because, yeah, that went badly wrong very quickly. There's loads of things we could have done differently, to be fair. But at the time, we were just trying to do two birds, one stone kind of thing. You know, drop something off, pick something up. I always prefer that. If you can take something to somewhere, drop something off, and pick something up to take elsewhere, it makes sense. That you never have an empty load. It's something that I've always lived to when I was at work. You always make sure you don't have a wasted journey. So going somewhere empty is pointless if there's something else you can take with you. I hope that makes sense. That's kind of how I've always looked at it in my working life as well, to be fair. Okay, we are getting away to the lumberyard. We're ready to get these wooden planks. So far, as I say, the journey's been pretty good. The Fleetstar is an amazing vehicle. It's just one of those that just keeps going. It does get stuck occasionally, you know. It's not without its faults. I think it could do with a bit more power. When we did the construction trailer, we proved that the Fleetstar was not up to the job at all. It really lacks power for them kind of jobs, but for these ones, not too bad. I also find that having a trailer with a saddle works really nicely with the Fleetstar. But if you're towing a trailer behind you, it doesn't like it. It struggles really with them trailers. I'm not sure what it is. I suppose it's where the trailer is connected makes a big difference. So we tend not to use the ones that you put on the back. We always tend to use trailers that are directly connected with a saddle, just because I find the Fleetstar works better with them. So that's the wooden planks now picked up. So now we can head to the Smithfield Dam tunnel and cross into the dam itself. I think that's a good plan. But we've got to get up this muddy track first. This again just shows how much the tyres are making a difference to the Fleetstar. This wouldn't have been impossible for the Fleetstar previously before we ranked up to rank 6. But it wouldn't have been simple either. I think that's the big thing. Whereas now, yes, it's not fast. We're not having to use the diff lock. And it is just going along quite nicely and making this look fairly simple. Which is what we want from our vehicles as much as possible. As I say, I want to use other vehicles, but we just don't have anything else that can do the job the Fleetstar can do. And because I don't want to buy anything, it does the job. So, I think it's doing really well so far. And we're just making it into the main part of town, as we can hit the concrete, or the tarmac, whatever you want to call it. I think it's tarmac, isn't it? Rather than concrete. Roads are generally tarmac, not concrete, so I'm assuming that's what it is. So we have sustained a bit of damage to the engine, only because of that silly turn we took, and then a little bit more after that. But all in all, pretty good journey so far. So, centre of town in Black River. The journey to the dam is quite straightforward. It is generally following, I think it's about 80% road, 20% mud. There is a big hill at the start of it, but other than that, everything else is fairly simple. So, I'm going to leave you to it. We'll be back once we arrive in Smithfield Dam. And we have arrived. I know you can skip this animation when you're arriving somewhere new, but I really like it. It just shows the terrain really nicely. So we're here. We have made it to Smithfield Dam. Really nice journey so far, but that was the simple part. This is when things get a little bit trickier. So we've got a main road to use here to start with. Follow this down to where the garage is, and then where there was it a landslide or something there we had to fix, and then we hit the mud track. This is all in front of the farm here. There's a trailer from the last attempt, and this is the track we're going to follow. You can see it there, and then there's another turning here, and then we should be able to get into the farm. Now you may notice we still need to pick up fuel. We've only got one space left on the trailer, which is fine. What we'll do is drop this first load off, head back to the garage, and then we'll swap the back. I'm thinking the sideboard bed. Head to the fuel station, grab the fuel, drive it back to the farm. Job's done. That's my thinking at this point. We'll see how this goes. I possibly could have looked for a trailer. I don't know if there is one that has 6 spaces, because then we could have picked the fuel up as well. But it doesn't matter. I think we're happy with what we've got. So that's our route planned. Now, this is the route that I was worried about. You know, the Black River route, fairly simple, fairly easy. Went really well, no issues. This one, well, I'm not too sure. Mainly because that off-road part going down the side of the farm, it's going to be tricky. We saw it originally when we used the Scout 800 to do some scouting, and there was some dodgy turnings. And this is probably, I think this is our first proper attempt at trying to get something on them small, narrow, winding roads. I call them roads, mud tracks. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. If the Fleetstar manages this, then it just goes to show how good it is, but also it's probably going to be our go-to vehicle in Smithfield Dam as well, which has me a little bit disappointed because I want to use other vehicles. But depending how the Fleetstar does, we'll know whether the Kodiak will manage or not. I think some of the jobs maybe the Kodiak will manage, but we won't know until we try. For the time being, the Fleetstar is the go-to, number 1. Okay, so we're just passing the garage now on our right-hand side. I'm pretty sure it's a garage. And this is where there was originally a landslide that we had to clear when we first came here with this load a few episodes back, before the mistakes were made. And we failed miserably. We're going to actually see the trailer. We haven't picked it up yet. It's still in the same position we left it, upside down, in fact. But we'll see that in a second, to be fair. But fairly good so far. This route is actually fairly simple. As I say, this is the easy part of the route. There is a harder part to come. So, just rounding the bend. I do like the way the sun, as it lowers down and comes to night time, sets in the distance. I do think, for a game that's a good few years old now, graphically, the sunsets are amazing. So on our left hand side there is our trailer upside down where we left it after this failed attempt previously. Fleetstar's just saying hello as it passes. We will pick that up at some point and sell it. I think they're worth about 6,000, so we do need to pick it up and sell it at some point. Just because it's money back, isn't it? Money in the pocket. And it's the same as all the trailers around Black River that we don't use. We need to retrieve all them. These big trailers like this one, I kind of prefer them to the small ones. As I said, the Fleetstar isn't very good at pulling something behind it if it's not directly attached. I find it's a lot better once I'm directly attached to it. So, while we don't need a small trailer if we can use something like this, my concern is when we have bigger loads, because the Fleetstar we know is not quite good enough. We'll see how we go here. I don't really know going forward what all the different loads are going to be as of yet. So this is the start of the tough part of the journey, the bit I was worried about. So we've got the mud track to go up down the side of the farm here. You can see it's quite narrow, quite tight and bumpy. Fleetstar doing okay so far though. This isn't the worst part. The worst part, you can just see it in the distance ahead of us. That's going to be tricky, because there's a bit of a drop to the side, and that's the bit I'm worried about. But so far so good. It's not moving as smoothly as it was the Fleetstar. It is struggling a little bit here. A bit more damage to the engine, that's not good. Wasn't completely our fault, it's kind of a drop down I think there. Okay, this is the bit I was really worried about, because if we tip the load we could be in big trouble. So, first part we've got through. This is the tight right-hander. This is where long trailers probably aren't the best for this. Problem is I didn't want to make 3 journeys. We've already got to do 2 because of the fuel. Didn't want to make 3 journeys if we put a smaller back on. Okay. We made it. Just about. Shouldn't talk too soon, should I? It wasn't easy. It took some really slow driving to be accurate there, but we made it actually. Wasn't as bad as I expected. Okay, let's keep pushing forward. We're looking for the right-hand turn towards the farm. Cut ahead of us somewhere. We'll get to that hopefully soon. It is where the blue marker is, to be fair. I usually put the blue markers down on any junctions, just because it's an easy way of knowing which direction you're taking from the junction. I find that's kind of my way of using the markers and the map now, is the blue dots are put down on junctions. Okay, so this is the right hand turn to the farm. This is the bit that I wasn't overly worried about, but we're still a little bit unknown, if that makes sense. Okay, a bit more damage. That time to the fuel tanks. We do need to be a bit more careful with the damage we're taking, to be fair. Although it doesn't cost anything to fix the vehicles. I don't know if you put it on hard mode whether it does cost to fix vehicles. In my eyes, it should cost you to fix vehicles. I think that would make more sense. You'd learn to be a bit more careful, wouldn't you? Although the Scout 800, every time we've rolled it, it doesn't take damage. So that's a good thing in my eyes. Okay, this is the farm. So the right hand side that you can't see at the minute, that's all flooded, which is why I've had to come this way. There's a new task to pick up there. Okay, our drop off point is dead ahead. That's a new task. We'll pick that up in a minute. We'll go and drop the load off first, I think, and then we'll pick the task up and have a look what it is. It'll be something we can do at a later date. So the farm itself is still a bit muddy. It's not the best condition. Farm tracks. But we're straight across, using the solid ground as much as possible, just to enable us to keep moving forward. That mud is pretty tough to get through. So solid ground where possible. And we're here. This is the first part of this mission done for the first time. Okay, let's drop off the bricks, and then we've got the wooden planks. There we go. Job done. Now, it's not finished. So what we're going to do, we're going to pick up that mission we just saw behind us. Grab that, see what it is. We're not doing it today, but we'll see what it is. Then we're going to head back to our garage. So we have got to take the same route back with that dodgy left-hand turn this time. We're going to take the same route back, head to the garage, change from the saddle to the sideboard bed, pick up the fuel, and then come back to the farm. That's my current plan. Fingers crossed we do this in one go. Okay, I wonder what this mission is. Let's see where we go. Reversing this trailer is not simple. I do struggle with reversing trailers. It's something I've always struggled with. I used to play, well, I don't play as much in a minute, but I used to play a lot of Farm Simulator. And the mates I play with, they would generally do the reversing with trailers, especially Nighthawk, just because I can't. Okay, this is the mission. Happy workers. No, hungry workers. I need to read properly. Okay, we'll have a look what this mission entails. So we need to pick up consumables and deliver them to the drilling. Okay. And we pick the consumables up at the farm. Well, we're going to end today's mission at the farm. So maybe next episode we'll look at doing hungry workers. Because we're all going to have a trailer here. We're going to have the sideboard bed on the back, which can carry 2. So that's 2 consumables there. So next episode, I think we look at this mission. It makes sense. If we're already in the location to pick it up, we might as well do it. So that's what we're going to look at next episode. But for today, we still need to get back to the garage. So obviously you can see the flooded road now that leads to the farm. I don't know this, and let me know if anyone does know and has done this themselves. The more you progress on the map, does the map change? So we had it on Black River where we opened up 3 taps. I say that 3 taps. That's all I can really describe them as. And the mission was designed to find these 3 taps to help reduce the flood water. But does that water ever really change? Like if we do a lot of the missions in Smithfield Dam, are we going to find that track to get to the farm then accessible because they've managed to fix stuff and drained the water, or is it always the same? The landscape never changes, even though you're doing deliveries to help these communities get back on their feet. That's kind of in my head. To be fair, if it does change, that's incredible. If it doesn't, it's understandable at the same time. But to see the change would be quite cool. To see how what you're doing is contributing to everyone. That would be quite cool, I think. But anyway, let's focus on the journey back. But if you do know, let me know. If you finish the game yourself and you know what kind of happens in that regard, do let me know. So, we're going to try and take this route back. As I say, the hardest part of this route is that turn with the rocks and the drop on the side. So, it's dodgy with a long trailer. I think with the sideboard bed we're going to swap to once we get back to the garage. I think it'll be fairly simple. It's just this bit is awkward. And it is, I think, the long trailer doesn't help. But the Fleetstar managing, because sometimes this is when you start seeing the Fleetstar with the front wheels off the ground. We've had that in the past, especially if the load's heavy. Load light that's empty like this actually isn't too bad. Seem to manage it okay there. But when you've got a full heavy load, you can generally see the Fleetstar with the front two wheels off the ground, which obviously reduces traction, which isn't helpful when you're trying to get around a corner. But so far, this Fleetstar is really doing well. I was, like I say, a bit concerned about this because of this side route we took. I just wasn't sure. There's my voice going there. I wasn't sure how easy that would be, especially with a long trailer like this. I suppose that's where smaller trailers, more journeys helps. We've actually got ourselves stuck. How have we managed that? We never get stuck. Not there anyway. We were fine on the way there. Gonna get a bit more on the solid ground. I don't know if it was the mud or a rock maybe got stuck underneath the trailer potentially, but we've made it. We're fine. We've got the main road now. We can use for a little bit as we head left towards the garage. There's not much of this main road, then we're going to hit dirt again, but that should be fine, to be fair. But yeah, I don't know whether we should have done this in 3 loads and just used the sideboard bed the whole time. Obviously we haven't explored the whole of Smithfield Dam, so we don't know where we can collect wooden planks from or bricks. If they can be collected here in the first place, we don't know. So I just thought bringing them over from Black River made sense until we fully explore Smithfield Dam, which, while there's jobs to do, we're not doing it. We will wait until we've got a few minutes and we'll go, okay, well, now we'll go and explore because we've done what we can. I'd rather be able to see where we're delivering to than going in blind, if that makes sense as well. That's where the exploration comes in. Hello to the upside down trailer once more. I will sell that in the future. I need to get a crane out, lifted up, sell it, job done. And let me know in the comments as well, because I've been thinking about this. We need to go around Black River and collect all the trailers and bring them back and sell them at the trader store. The ones we've not used or just dumped, we've got to do all that. And the same here. What do you think? Do we show that? Do we not? You know, I'm always one of these people that wants to show a whole journey that we do within any game, and especially something like this SnowRunner, where you know every job matters, picking up the jobs matters as much as exploring and then delivering. But do we show, you know, running around grabbing all the trailers and selling them, or do we just do it? You know, the exploration I want to show because I think that's quite important to see new things. But what do you think about the trailer side of things? My other thinking is I may just grab trailers willy-nilly when we've got no load on us and we can take one with us, potentially. Depending on what we've backs on the Fleetstar or any other vehicle as well. I don't know whether I'm just going to dedicate time to just pick a load of trailers up. I think that's probably a waste of time. But if we're going past one with no back on, or no load on us, then maybe it's worth picking up then, maybe. I don't know. I'm in two minds. Let me know what you think in the comments as well. Okay, we're going to reverse this trailer. We're going to keep it stored here. This will be our go-to trailer on Smithfield Dam, I think. It makes sense. It works really well. Really enjoy using this trailer. So that is going to be the go-to. So once we drop this off, let me hit the back. My reversing isn't the best. Okay, we're going to quickly go into the garage and swap out our saddle. So we've now swapped out the saddle. We've put the sideboard bed on the back of the Fleetstar. And we're going to go to the fuel station now. So we're going to come out of the garage, take the main road down as if we're heading back to Black River, and then we're going to here. I don't normally like going to a location where I can't see what's there. I'm guessing this is all main road. It looks like it is. But we're going to go and pick up the fuel from the fuel station and then journey it back to the farm to finish off the essentials. That's the plan. Should be a bit easier this time, especially that tight corner we had to experience previously, because obviously we haven't got a big long trailer on the back. So this will make a massive difference to getting around that corner. I think this will be quicker and easier, in all honesty. It should be. Okay. So we're heading towards the part of the road where we head back to the Black River Tunnel. Is it Black River Tunnel, Smithfield Dam Tunnel? or is it depending on where you are at the time when you enter it? That's the thing. But yeah, all fixed up as well. As you can see, Fleetstar this time has no damage. I don't think the damage was entirely our fault. We did a bit to the engine, a bit to the fuel tank. It's just the bump sometimes. Maybe it's me going too quickly as well, to be fair. I did forget to put snorkel on as well. I need to do that. Okay. So now we're going to be heading into uncharted territory. We haven't really seen any of this area that we're heading towards now. My guess is we should be fine, because you can see the fuel stations there. It's not far, but we haven't been here. So let's try, I think round the back seems to be the way to go to pick up what we need. Yep, nice and easy. So the pickup point is here. Nice to see there is a fuel station that we can use as well for refueling. That's always handy. So here we should be able to pick up 2 lots of fuel. 1 and 2. Okay. It looks like we're going to get the essentials done today. Which, yeah, is incredible. Especially after a failed attempt previously. Okay. There is a mission across the road there by the house. Just see it popping up there as the camera decides to have a nightmare. Let's pick this mission up and have a look at it. We've already picked up a second mission from the farm. I'd like to have all the missions on us just so we know what we can go and do next. So, lost trailer. Okay, this sounds tricky. We've got a few of these still on Black River to do, actually. Lost trailers and things. We need to actually look at those. Where's the lost trailer, then? Oh, wow. It's right down there by the water. How are we getting that out? Although that looks not to be in the water. If it is, it's on the edge at the very least. So how do you bring it back up? I'm assuming if you follow... Oh, there's a road there. That's a tricky one. We'll have to have a look at that at some point. It doesn't... The map doesn't really give you the full story, though, does it? It doesn't look like it's that far in the water. I've had a look at other ones. We had a trailer at Black River. We had a look at that, and it was so far in the water, we can't get to it. Well, I couldn't when we last tried. So I wonder if that looks like it's on land or on the edge at very least, but I don't know how true that is, if that makes sense. Okay, that's where I think that's where you drop the trailer off, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, we are now heading back to the farm. That is the plan. Let's plot this route up. So junction there to go past the garage. As I say, always use the junctions as a marker point. It makes my life a lot easier. So we're looking for the right hand turn here. There is another mission to pick up just past that turning as well. I don't know if we've already picked that up or not. And then farm is there. Okay, nice and simple. We have seen this journey before. We've been doing this journey so far today, but we haven't done it with the sideboard bed on the back. So hopefully this goes as well as it did for the trailer. It should do. If you think about it, we've got a smaller vehicle. Weight-wise is evenly distributed, whereas the trailer it's not. It wasn't full either, so the weight wasn't as bad as it could have been. And we managed it absolutely fine, so I'm not doubting the Fleetstar on this one. I think this should be fairly simple. But yeah, back to that lost trailer we need to pick up. That looks a really dodgy journey, but doable. Something we'll have to look at in the future. As I say, I've got vehicles still in Black River we need to go and retrieve from water and waterlogged areas and stuff. It's something I've not felt ready for more than anything else, so that's why I've not attempted them. So yeah, maybe I need to kind of give myself the confidence and go for one and see how it goes. Like I said, we did try the trailer, but it was so far in the water we couldn't get to it. So we'll have to see how we go. I know you can get a back for the Fleetstar and also the Kodiak, which is a winching platform that, you know, trucks that recover cars use. I wonder if that will be good for any vehicles we need to retrieve. Because we have found a vehicle in Black River that's stuck in the bog behind the garage. We had the 2 scout vehicles helping each other get through that to open up that area, I think it was. Well, no, it wasn't. It was to do the tap. One of the 3 we needed to do. So we know there's a vehicle there to pick up. It's to deliver to the farm in Black River. My thinking is the towing platform would be ideal. Obviously, it's how heavy it's going to be to how we can get in there and get it out. The Fleetstar, as I say, is good, and with the tyres now will definitely make a difference, but towing platform is kind of my thinking. But anyone who's done it before, let me know in the comments what you think. I don't think I'm going to be able to just winch it. I think that would be... The Fleetstar wouldn't manage it. The Fleetstar is not very good at winching anything and moving it. Or trailers attached to the back, to be fair. It's got to be directly attached with a saddle, or as a sideboard bed is. Anything else, the Fleetstar does struggle. But yeah, maybe we need to buy the winching platform and get that vehicle out. As I say, we haven't finished with Black River. There's still stuff to do, but I'm looking at what jobs we can do that makes sense as we keep moving forward. It's always making sure there's something on the go, and this job made sense to be done. The other, on top of that, you know, we've got wood, logging missions. I'll get my words out. We've got logging missions to do. We haven't touched logging yet. They look to be very long journeys, very slow, monotonous journeys, mainly because I think you can only carry one load of logs at a time, and you've got to go. I think the one we've got, like logs of the workers in Black River, I think it's 2 long logs, 2 medium logs. That's 4 journeys essentially. Might even be 6. I think there might be another 2 somewhere else. But that's 6 journeys potentially, which is going to take time. So we've got to work out how we're going to do that in terms of how can we do that in one episode, depending obviously how long the journey takes, because it's back and forth, and I'm guessing there's nothing to bring back with you once you've got the logging stuff on the back, because I think you've got to buy a logging back and then we have to buy a logging trailer. I think that's how it works. And again, I don't know how the Fleetstar is going to cope with having something on the that's not directly attached to it. It's going to be a trailer we pull along. I'm not sure how it's going to cope with that. I don't know if there's anything else you can use to carry logs. I'm assuming this back wouldn't work, obviously, but I don't know. I need to look at logging because it's one of the jobs we still need to do in Black River. So I do need to look at it. I'm just a little bit cautious of doing it more than anything else. I don't know why. It's just one job that I'm just a little bit anxious about. And maybe I shouldn't be. Maybe once we bite the bullet, it'll be absolutely fine. But at the minute, I'm kind of worried. So we'll see how we go. I think we've got to bring a load of logs over here at some point as well. Did damage the engine there. We did that previously. I think there's just a little bit of a drop there. Is where we catch ourselves. But all in all, this journey's gone really well. I think I've limited the music we've put in the video as well, which is what I'm going to try and do going forward after people have suggested it. Okay, let's get through past these buildings here and deliver this fuel, and that'll be job done. Okay, you know when I say I'm going to sneak through between buildings and, you know, trying to make my life quicker, easier, potentially a shortcut. I think this was a bad idea. We should have just followed the track in. We can't get through there either, can we? No. Okay, so don't take shortcuts. Don't try and be quicker. Just do it as we did before, and life would be simple. Me knocking the outside toilet over there, to be fair. Yeah, a silly mistake by me just by trying to take a shortcut. That's the worst thing you can do sometimes, is try and take a shortcut. But there we go. Okay, we're back on track. We're literally there. It's just getting to the location of drop off. As I say, there is another mission we need to pick up from here, so we'll do that in the next episode, I think. I think it's Hungry Workers, so that will be next episode at the very least. We know where we're going from here. Okay, let's get across and drop this fuel off, and that will be job done. As I say, pretty happy with how this has gone. My concern with that turn wasn't too bad in the end, so I'm pretty happy with how this has gone. But if you have enjoyed this episode, do let me know in the comments, or leave a like even, in fact. It does really help. We've also been promoted after finishing the Essentials. We are now ranked 7. We'll have to have a look at what upgrades we can do going forward with that. But that is us for today. As I say, if you did enjoy this episode or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe. And a like really does help the channel and the episode as well. And ring the bell to not miss an upload. That is it. We're done for today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time for more SnowRunner.